Yo guys, what is up? It is Master Darcy bringing us here another commentary once again, and today we're going to be talking on a huge topic of Halo 5 Guardians, which is actually a topic that I briefly touched upon my previous Halo Zone video, if you remember, and that's regarding the social aspect of Halo 5 Guardians' multiplayer. And today I want to talk about the potential Free can unleash upon Halo 5 to make it basically skyrocket in terms of popularity around the casual community in shooters as a whole. And so there's a lot of potential in this, and so first of all, we want to basically talk about the Action Sack mode. So for those of you that don't know, Action Sack is basically a mixture of all these casual modes, party-esque mini games crammed into one playlist, so you can have a variety of party modes for you to play in if you come back from work or school, or if you're a casual player, or if you simply want to relax and not basically be in the heat of competitiveness all the time. So basically Action Sack offers a possibility for endless types of modes, and social content is pretty much there. Since we have the best forge out there, we can, and a lot of customization in game types, we can pretty much create anything of our imagination, nearly anything, and so there's a lot of possibilities that can be arise from this. Free already have done a good job creating Super Fiesta, which definitely should be on their list of making somewhat permanent, either as its own playlist or in the form of being a part of Action Sack. So there's a lot of possibilities for Super Fiesta, as I've mentioned, that should be in. Maybe Classic Fiesta as well for the classics out there. But then we should also have some other classic social game types. Remember Hot Potato, basically carrying a hot oddball that would explode once in a while. That should be there as well. I think Quick Ball, which is a ricochet variant, I really like that in Halo 4's Action Sack. That should come back. Then of course you can have shotgun ricochets and infection variants. So we will have infection come in. That'll definitely be its own social playlist. But the community out there, they'll be creating their own infection variants, some crazy wicked ones, which basically modifies the infected and the survivors. So you can work on different sets of map. Remember, escaping the house, I believe, was one of the modes. That should be an Action Sack game type for sure someday, because that's crazy good and fun. Or escape a mansion, one of the two. And then you can basically have a set of crazy community-made mini games. For example, if you remember the popular ones, which were a surprise, only been available to create with Halo 5's forging and its cool scripting. There's basically a lot of potential you can create. So remember for Reaper variant, I believe somebody created it. I'm not sure of her name. I think it was Chewy Nut Cluster was the name of the creator. I can't quite remember. But Reaper is a really cool thing. Basically, you're just using scripts to create one giant monstrous looking figure and use them to kill your opponents, while the other players have to basically run from a bastard and survive. That's a really fun mode. They should do that, like stuff like that. And then also there's one called Boss Fight, where it's basically a machine mech created using scripts, and person controlling the mech needs to use scripting to try and kill basically a bunch of prey, and the person controlling it is a grunt, but that's also using scripting as well. Then you can also have a classic called Hockey, if you remember that from Halo Reach, where basically it's kind of a spin-off of Griffball, where you have to hit a giant soccer ball or something to hit into the goals, and once you hit it in, it scores. Then if you remember from Halo 4, Climb of a Hill, which is King of Hill of Swords. King of Hill is probably not coming back since we have Strongholds, which is similar to it in a sort of way. So maybe they can sort of put one stronghold at a time, and then you can have players of swords fighting over it, or maybe just free and you fight over them and control them. That would be pretty sweet. Then of course Rocket Slayer, which was another popular one in Halo 5's weekend playlist when I was out, and of course etc. We can have many more. The possibilities are endless. So Action Sack maybe is not out at the moment due to more incoming social modes. Remember, we have Infection coming out, so community can make more variants of that, which can be converted into the Action Sack playlist. And then of course Race. In Hog Wild it is highly speculated that there is a huge chance that Race will be coming into Hog Wild, because Infection is not going to be the last game type to come. Free said that Infection is one of the more game types yet to come, so I believe that Race is still on the list, maybe with another competitive mode. So Race will probably be put in, and you can create a whole bunch of cool racetracks which can be put in the Action Sack as well. Now, moving on to the possibilities of Forge. We know we have the best Forge ever, pretty much. It's super next gen, and Halo 5's map creator is pretty much the best thing you can have in consoles right now. and it's a shooter. It's a bloody shooter and has a really cool map creator, and you can practically make anything out of it. You don't have to exactly make some competitive maps. You can make some really cool mini games of scripting, like I mentioned, some cool infection maps, anything pretty much of your imagination. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff, and they're pretty much adding more features as we go, weather and stuff. Soon we'll have some skeleton bodies to add to the atmosphere infection maps. There's gonna be a lot of cool stuff, and Free Industries are leaving it to custom games. We can have some cool custom games out there, but they can take a step further and perhaps implementing some of these crazy maps or even community favorites into the matchmaking rotation, into the action stack that should come. For example, they can implement Sumo Monkeys, which was actually a fan favorite back then. They can implement that in the action stack, and they can implement some infection games, as just like I mentioned. So I might recreate Fat Kid, which is a popular one, Escape from Mansion, House, etc. Stuff like that in a crazy infection game type. So scripting now and a customizable infection, you can pretty much create some cool stuff with this mode, some scary stuff as well. So you can have a variety of just infection. Every map will feel different just because of scripting now and stuff. So you can have also Free Industry can have community maps of a month. So you don't exactly have to have the same maps all the time. You have some cool created maps of a month which your community likes, and you can introduce new ones as each month goes by to keep the action stack mode refreshing, and this will actually keep the players engaged because players will love to play this. And also this is very beneficial because not everybody will go out there searching for players to play with in custom games. Not everybody will do that, so it'd be nice having matchmaking so you can reach a broader audience. More players can experience these cool maps, and overall it will give Halo 5 the full potential to attract many casuals from other game series or casual console players as a whole, and even new players into the series, which will boost Halo 5 and make it skyrocket, even though Halo 5 isn't exactly the brand newest game anymore. And overall, I don't think this will be a good thing. Free might not exactly want to do it because they might think it'll have an effect on their other social modes they've created, specifically for Halo 5 Guardians, such as maybe Warzone or even Arena. My thing is, it won't affect it too much because Warzone and Arena are basically classics in Halo 5. They're basically what Halo is, which is shooting, coordination, tactical stuff, and stuff like that, chaos. These casual modes won't exactly have too much of that in. They'll be their own thing. And so yeah, it won't affect it too much, but they'll have their own community and of casual players. So I think this should be added in for sure. So what do you guys think of this topic? And so I'll see you guys next time then, I suppose, and peace.